Ohio officials are denouncing a group of neo-Nazis who paraded through a Columbus neighborhood. We want to warn you, this video of the march is disturbing.
Why you hiding your faces? Don't hide your face. Don't hide your face.
Around a dozen people marched near downtown in Columbus. They carried swastika flags and did not show their faces. At least one yelled a racial slur over and over. It's just the latest among hundreds of white nationalist events in the U.S. over the past year. Just over a week ago, another group carried Nazi flags outside a Michigan community theater that was putting on a production of The Diary of Anne Frank. Oren Segal joins us now. He's vice president of the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism. Oren, I know you look at this type of repugnant activity all the time. Do these incidents reflect a larger trend in the U.S. right now? What can you tell us?
Yeah, Jim, this is not a new phenomenon. We've tracked over 280, paramilitary style white supremacist marches and events in 2023, and we're well over 100 in 2024. We need to remember that these are designed to create fear and anxiety in communities, but also to act as almost like a photo opportunity, right? These are recorded by these white supremacists themselves to signal back to their online community to try to get people to embrace their hatred and potentially to act on it.
Yeah, and I was just going to ask, what is the goal of these demonstrators? I mean, what's your sense of whether, this kind of stuff needs to be held up to the light of day? I mean, and talking about it in the way that you and I are talking about it right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a luxury to just dismiss these events as insignificant or, too small. I mean, sometimes, 12 people gather together with hateful signs. Other times it's 20. And, we've seen 100 people gather together. The point is that, these folks are talking about great replacement, creating a white ethno state, and these messages resonate with people. We have seen in the past how those narratives animate people to violence. So frankly, we ignore these events at our peril, and it's not always about the size, but about how much they're able to amplify this hatred and rhetoric through their online channels.
And did some of this get ratcheted up because we were in the middle of a campaign year? Obviously 2023 leading into a campaign year. Is that part of it because the elections were coming up in this country?
I'll tell you this, white supremacists and all extremists never miss an opportunity to leverage a crisis or a political or public discussion. And so when issues of immigration or trans rights or other, kind of hot button topics in this country happen, we see that white nationalists tend to then create these marches designed to, feed upon people's fears on those issues. So it's not surprising that extremists take their cues from our public discussion, but that's why it's so important for leaders, whether it's elected officials, people in the community, to reject these activities, these marches, and the narratives as soon as they happen.
And Oren, I don't have to tell you, President-elect Trump frequently uses divisive language and has downplayed racial violence and the threat of white supremacists. He did that during his first term in office. I was there with him when he talked about very fine people on both sides in Charlottesville. And I'm sure you remember just before he took office, in late 2016, there were white supremacists holding a rally and praising his victory. Should we expect an uptick in this kind of activity with Trump returning to the White House?
I think what we need to remember is that this white supremacist activity never went away. Perhaps we didn't, cover it as much in the news because there were other issues. But the reality is, the book on white supremacy, anti-Semitism, and hatred is not closed. In fact, there are more chapters being written every single day. And so we should fully expect that white supremacists will continue to try to leverage our public discussion to try to incite fear and anxiety in communities, and frankly, even fight amongst each other, which is really dangerous.
All right, Oren Segal with the Anti-Defamation League. You do very important work. Please keep us posted on what you find out here in the days and weeks to come. We really appreciate it, Oren. Thanks for your time.